Well, good morning everyone. I'm Nigel Sargent from Commerce Dealing Magazine. Welcome to the latest educational webinar we are running today in association with hosted TPX specialist Vanilla IP. The theme for today is how to turn customers into smart users on the BroadSoft platform and maximise your margins. Now, for the past couple of years, resellers have sought a simple route to market for hosted telephony for their own sales teams and for customers whose knowledge has been limited. For many, that simplicity took the form of a single user package containing all the features and functionality regardless of actual requirements. As the market matures, the necessity to maintain strong levels of margin, along with an increasing customer understanding about their requirements, has led to a shift away from this one-size-fits-all model. Now, Vanilla IP have been ahead of the curve in this space for some time, and now to meet the challenges resellers face today in inspiring interest in closing deals, they've introduced a new ground-up portfolio of building blocks. These are designed to help resellers create their own individual propositions at aggressive prices, coupled with a wide portfolio of functional bolt-ons designed to satisfy the 30% of users who actually need premium level features. Now, Lee Houston, Head of Indirect at Vanilla IP, is here with us this morning to discuss this shift in the market and how his team are meeting this challenge, starting with their Smart Youth initiative. So Lee, it's all over to you.
Thanks, Nigel. Morning, everybody. Thank you for taking the time out of your diary to join us today. Appreciate that everybody is busy, so we really do appreciate you joining us for today's session. Probably best just for everybody's benefit, just to give you a bit more of some background information on who Vanilla IP are, where we're positioned within the marketplace, just for those of you who are maybe not as familiar as the rest. So now we are one of the earliest adopters of hosted telephony. We bought our BroadSoft platform back in 2005, and since then we've been enabling our reseller channel to effectively become virtual platform owners within the BroadSoft environment. Now by virtual platform owner, what I mean there is we allow our channel to completely own the product that they take to market. They own the brand that sits behind that and have all of the tools and environment that allows them to efficiently and effectively manage their customers. Now, all of this is made possible via our UBOS portal, which you can learn more about by heading over to our YouTube channel. There's plenty of webinars, previous webinars that we've delivered, which are available on our YouTube channel. Now you can look at the kind of some more of the capabilities of UBOS with regards to NOC, billing, provisioning, etc. But also feel free to jump over to our website and look at all of the upcoming webinars that we've got. These tend to be more product-specific related sessions, or where we'll pull out a specific feature within the portal or the product portfolio, and we do a deep dive on there. So if you head over to the Vanilla IP website, you can register for all of our upcoming sessions. So to kick things off then, Nigel has slightly stolen my thunder, and what I want to talk about today is this this shift in the way hosted telephony marketplace has developed over the last couple of years, and is continuing to change the way that our reseller channel is being successful. Now, historically, as Nigel has just mentioned there, this concept of having one single user bundle that includes all services and features was seen as the easiest way. Easiest for our sales team to go out and sell and deploy, but also easiest for our customer to understand. Now, over the past few years, we've been running through this first phase of mass adoption, where our product's been battling with the incumbent service. A battle which is necessitated of a simplicity in both the product deployment, but also from a price point of view, so the customer didn't leave the buying process because it was all too confusing. But as we sit here in 2017, we're starting to reach this point now of mid-maturity within the marketplace, and most of the competition within an individual deal tends to be from the same technology. So therefore, differentiation within both the feature set but also the price point are much more in focus than they have been before. That, along with the fact that margin erosion is difficult to manage and maintain, is also seeing this drive or this requirement for us to strip out the waste products in order to meet a more appropriate and a more competitive price point. Now, what's also driving this change in the market is a shift in a consultative sell from our channel. We're seeing our resellers no longer just employ salespeople who are box shifters, but also, moreover, people who are able to have a solution sell approach to the product, to understand the customer's requirements a bit more detail and have more overarching look at what the customer's actual needs are. And we are, as it stands, we're seeing customers consuming cloud services on a scale that has not been seen before. So when it comes to the buying processes, they're much more savvy than they have been over the last 3 or 4 years, specifically with hosted telephony. And as it stands, we are still seeing this being overlooked by some of the reseller channel, often leading to ARPU being neglected. Now, the reality is that our customers are much more complex than every single user being the same. In fact, my proposal is that there can be a significant difference between the requirements of users within the same organization. If we think for a moment about the difference of functionality or requirements, feature set, of maybe someone who sits in the accounts team and as an administrator, or someone who works in the customer service department, the requirements for those users can be completely different. The same goes maybe for the phone that sits in the conference room and in the boardroom versus the sales team who are out on the road who need some mobility products, some apps on mobiles, etc., etc. Or it even goes far as saying the difference in terms of functionality between a door entry phone and the managing director who she potentially needs devices in multiple locations, mobility products, applications, maybe some visibility of the team's overall inbound and outbound call performance. Now, hopefully this demonstrates the difference of individual users' needs, but historically we've been in a marketplace where all of these users will be paying the same price for this product. Now, another analogy I could give you, mainly because I like food, is this idea of a set menu within a restaurant. Paying the price for a menu that includes 3 courses is a great idea, providing that you want to eat 3 courses, but is not necessarily such a good deal if you only want the starter and the main, or even as far as just the main course. In those scenarios, you'd probably be better paying just for what you've eaten, and that's exactly what we're proposing here with hosted telephony. So instead of providing your customers with this historic one cost fits all user package, regardless of their genuine requirements, we're allowing our channel to create a range of bundles that are completely unique, offering not only differentiation between the competition, but also an opportunity for you to protect your brand identity and your revenue streams. But these packages don't start with all features included and strip them out. We're looking at things completely the opposite way around. We've created a foundation user bundle called the Smart User, which is the baseline for which you can build your services and functionality upon. But it would be fair to say that that Smart User on its own should not be overlooked. The analysis that we've done on our base suggests that 50 to 60% of the users on our base would be satisfied in terms of the functionality by the Smart User on its own. Now, I'm sure you're fairly common with the concept of 80% of your users only using 20% of the functionality. Well, what my proposal is that those users should not be paying for that 80% of the functionality that they don't want or don't need at that particular time. So if we were to start to think of a couple of examples of this, voicemail is a perfect example of a service that for years has just been a throwaway include in every user package service. But again, because we've done the analysis on the base, we know that only 57% of the users on our base have voicemail assigned and are using voicemail as a service. Therefore, I think it is a perfectly reasonable concept for you to decide which bundles you want to include voicemail in. If we think back to our previous example of a door entry phone, maybe a conference phone in a boardroom, or even the account administrator, none of these users necessarily need to have voicemail as a service, but historically have been paying for the luxury to have it. Another good example is DDIs. Now again, fairly commonplace historically that every user would expect a DDI to be included in their user bundle. But DDIs carry a cost, and we know that new greenfield sites or deployments where there's a call center environment where agents are only taking inbound calls from the queue, again, these users don't need to have a DDI, but historically have been paying for that luxury. Now, this model that I'm proposing not only leads to a better all-round buying experience from your customer, but also allows you to monetize these said features that have historically been giveaway, throwaway products. And again, this is leading for an opportunity for you as the virtual platform owner, as the reseller, to genuinely grow your ARPU. Now, there are several ways we're seeing within our channel where kind of partners are gaining success. But before we do that, let's quickly just look at the smart user which we're talking about today. Now, without going into all of the features and functionality that are on screen here individually, because we've not got the time, hopefully what you can draw from that is what we've created is a fully functional starting point that on its own will satisfy a large proportion of your users, and at a price point that comes in for less than £4, hopefully demonstrates an ability for you to be an incredibly aggressive within the marketplace when coming up against competition who are still selling that seat for maybe £16-17 in that one size fits all model which we've been talking about. Now, so to go back to my last point about where partners are being successful, firstly, you've got this concept of creating your own small bunch of really slick user bundles. Now, as you can see on screen here, we're starting with the smart user. You're deciding from some of the examples that I've got there which features, which functionality you want to include in your own branded package. And now, purely for example purposes, I've put some together on screen here to give you a bit of a feel for how that could look when you push that through to your customer. And we start on the left hand side with the smart user on its own at a really aggressive price point whilst maintaining good margins. But as we move through these packages from the left to the right, not only do the feature set increase, as does the price point, therefore again giving you this ability to really tailor the proposal, tailor the solution to your customer's genuine requirements. Again, you can see on screen there that minute bundles is not something that's been included on the left hand side. Again, a conference phone in a boardroom, minute bundles carry a charge. So a conference phone in a boardroom, an inbound customer service agent, an inbound sales agent may not necessarily require a minute bundle. Therefore, again, by stripping out the cost allows us to be really aggressive from a price point of view. But alternatively, we're seeing partners or other partners pricing the individual elements such as call recording and giving it a monthly reoccurring charge. Now, the great thing about this opportunity is the way that UBoss allows your customers to genuinely self-serve. Now, if you think of the mobile environment, I'm sure some of you on this call today come from a mobile resale background. Your customers don't contact you when they want a new application on their mobile. They simply go to the App Store, they pay for the product, they consume the product, and it's live, they start to use it. What we're now seeing is a real shift in that way of consuming hosted telephony. Your customers no longer want to call you up to consume call recording. They want to be able to jump in the portal, assign it, pay for it, and start to use it instantly. Now, I've made several suggestions here that presenting the product in this stripped back, packaged, bundled way with a genuine understanding of your customers' needs gives you a chance of not only retaining but also increasing your ARPU. And one way that we're seeing partners be successful in that is the ability to go back to your customers and upsell through the life cycle. If at day one you've provided your customer with a package that includes all of your features and functionality, well, there's simply nothing for you to go back to your customer to sell them. You've given it all away at day one. In our model, you can go back to a user that doesn't take call recording from the previous slide, and in 6-12 months time have an opportunity to upsell your portfolio to them. Their requirements at day one may be completely or significantly different to those in 6 months time. So where we're usually seeing forecasted profit at day one of installation decrease over the life cycle of a customer, we're now seeing our partners increase their profit, increase their ARPU after deploying a customer, mainly because of this ability to go back and upsell products which the customer didn't necessarily want or need at day one of installation. Now, this is also supported by our continued development and delivery of products, giving partners kind of an ever-growing upsell opportunity. Now, in order to summarise, what we've been through today, we're seeing resellers celebrate success because they are moving away from the traditional model of one size fits all, one user package, and starting to break down the product, starting to understand the customer's requirements, starting to own the product and own the brand, all of which is leading to not only a better buying experience, but also a better opportunity for you to maintain margin within this space. We're seeing a higher conversion rate on the basis that the customer's needs are being understood, therefore the proposal that goes out to the customer is genuinely more cost effective in most or more cost competitive in most environments, and also standing out from the competition because what you're proposing genuinely understands their needs. And we're seeing, again, to reiterate my previous point, we're seeing a growing revenue stream throughout the life cycle of the customer, not one that's decreasing, because you have an opportunity to go back to the customer and upsell mid-contract. So hopefully this morning's session has given you a bit of a feel for how we're attacking the marketplace, for how we're seeing things change, how we're seeing the customer's requirements change, in what has become kind of a really exciting marketplace to be in. So at that point, I'm going to hand you back over to Nigel. Thank you again for joining this session, and do feel free to jump over to the website. All details are on screen there should you wish to contact me after the presentation. So thanks, Nigel.
Thank you, Lee. This is Nigel Sargent again from Comsteel. I'd like to say I found that session very valuable. I hope you did, everybody that's joined us today. I'd like to say a big thank you to Lee Houston at Vanilla IP for so efficiently leading. So everybody knows we do run educational webinars on a regular basis, so please keep checking in Comsteel magazine for details. And it remains for me to say thanks again, Lee. Thanks everybody for joining us, and look forward to seeing you at the next, speaking to you rather at the next webinar. Goodbye everyone, and have a great day. Cheers.